Well, welcome back. We bring you all the coverage on this special day because, of course, there's special voting going down across all the constituencies in our country, 275 of them. Let's quickly connect with Ernest Kojomenu, who still finds himself in Ododo at that voting center. You know, flashpoint there and with many hotspots within that constituency. Ernest, if you can hear me, what is the latest that you can tell us from the center at which you are? Well, Ernest is
here
in...
at the Jamestown Police Station, voting began exactly at 7 a.m. on the dot. The district electoral officer for the district, Ododo, briefed the electorate. At the time, there were about 15 of them in the queue about the processes, how they should go through the various processes to cast their ballot safely. So he did that, and just at exactly 7 a.m., the poll started. The first ballot was cast about a minute after. And so what is happening is that right now, because the sun is coming up, Benjamin, you can see in the background, they are trying to put up a tent so it can provide some shade for the EC officials who will be sitting here all day. But I must say that the COVID-19 protocols are being observed here at the Jamestown polling station. So what happens is that the first port of call is to wash your hands right here, where you have this yellow Veronica bucket with water and tissue on it. This EC official will take your temperature like you're seeing right now. There's also, they provided a bin for the tissue paper, just so that you don't litter the place. And then you move to the first table, where you'd have your name checked, if indeed you have your name in the voters register. So the EC officials will do that. And that will be the first ballot that will be given to you for the presidential elections. And so you do the check-in here. We have two EC officials here at this particular table. Once your name is verified, you're given the presidential ballot paper. And then, of course, the indelible ink is also applied. And then you move to any of the screens to cast your ballot, and then you come back to the second table to do same for the parliamentary elections as well. And remember, for the parliamentary elections, you have two main contenders, the NDC's Neelante Vanderpoel, who is actually the incumbent for Ododo, and Neelante Bannerman, who is in charge of the Premix 4 Committee and also a member of the NPP. He is their candidate for this year's election. This is the second time he'll be contesting the incumbent member of parliament. Let me speak to the district EC official, Mr. Eric Autry. He is right here with me to give us an update on the processes so far. Thank you very much, sir, for your time here on Joy News. So how many people do we expect to cast their ballot today?
Yeah, good morning to you, our viewers. We are expecting 229 voters for the special voting. And I'm sure, as you can see, the process has begun.
Okay, if you can just move this way because of the camera.
Okay.
Yes, so, yeah, 200?
Yeah, 229. 229 special voters. Yeah, so as you can observe, the process is ongoing, and we have not experienced anything untoward. I hoping that by the time the process comes to an end, everything would have gone on as we have all expected. Yeah.
And so do you have all your electoral materials, everything that you need for this election ready?
Yes, we have received every item. Being it the COVID materials, the election itself, the materials, we have taken delivery of the ballot papers. We have, at least we have everything that we need to use for the 7th December elections itself. So we are set. In fact, we are more than set.
And considering the number, which is just 229, I think quite a number of people have voted already. We'll cross-check with your men at the table how many have voted so far. But what happens if by, say, midday or a little after midday, you have everybody casting their ballots? What happens? Would you still go ahead to close the poll, or pack out of this place, what will happen?
No, by the rules, we are not supposed to end midway, even if everyone has cast the vote. The voting, it's 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. So we are here till 5 p.m. Even as the voters have already cast their vote. So we'll still be waiting. We'll still be here. We'll still be around until 5 a.m. where we'll pack our material. And this time, for the special voting, we need not to count the votes and know for each candidate. What we do is that we put everything under seal, then we place it at the police custody, where it is secured until the 7th December, 5 p.m., where every vote at every police station would be accounted for. So that is where we come and we do the declaration for the special voting. Okay. So even as we close poll at 5, we don't declare any results. We leave the materials, we put under safe, then we go on and we wait for the 7th December itself.
Okay. And so that is Mr. Eric Otri, who is the EC District Officer here at the Ododo Diodo constituency. This is the Jamestown Police Station, which is serving as the center for the special voting today. As you can see, the process is ongoing. I'd want to speak to the party representatives as well to find out what they make of the process so far. At the start of the polls, actually before the polls started, they went through the election materials as part of the accounting for ballots with the EC officials. I just want to speak to them to find out if they are satisfied with the process so far. We have a representative of the NDC here. He is an agent today at the Special Voting Center here at the Jamestown Police Station. Welcome to join us.
Thank you very much.
Your name, sir?
My name is Shadrach.
Okay. What do you make of the process so far? We started polls at exactly 7. The COVID-19 materials are in there. What is your observation so far?
Well, so far I can confirm that it's so far so good. The process has been very smooth and the EC have been very, very cooperating. And also the other agents here, everybody have been very, very, very cooperating. And like I said earlier, the process is moving on smoothly. There is no issue. Just that before the commencement of polls, as agents, we were supposed to record certain things. Okay. For instance, the serial numbers for the ballot papers, then the serial number for the validating stamp, and then for the BVD machine as well. But then at the beginning, everything was in a rush because they wanted to start at exactly 7 a.m. Okay. But then after the whole place was calm, after everything was calm, then we were able to record everything. So
you have recorded all the figures that you need?
All the figures, all the serial numbers that I need. I have everything with me.
Okay, so that is the representative of the NDC. He is an aide. I'm actually told he's an aide to the MP Neelante Vanderpoel. We'll be speaking to the NPP rep also very shortly. I spotted him here a while ago, one Neelankai. But let me speak to the EC district officer again, if Mr. Otri can join us here shortly. Also because of security, because this place is a flashpoint and it is important that we find out what the security arrangement is for the constituency. And so we'll speak to Mr. Otri very briefly. Even though we are in a police station, I have been here before in 2016 and there were some skirmishes, and so it's important to find out what the security arrangement is for today's special voting, and we'll do that shortly and get it later. But for now, the process has been smooth so far and voting is underway. Benjamin.
Well, Ernest Kojamenu bringing us up to speed with developments there as far as Jamestown, that center is concerned in Ododo Diodo. Of course, we'll be bringing you more action from different, centers from across the country. Of course, earlier this morning, we took you to Pram Pram and Legon as well. Well, Maxwell joins us from Koforidua. Hello, Maxwell. Well, so as and when Maxwell is ready to connect all the way from Koforidua, we'll do that. Mamavi, it's election day, I should say.
It is.
I was struggling to say it because it's not the 7th of December, and I'm still not in that vibe. But it is election day.
It is because it's part of the 7th December election.
Exactly.
This is our early voters day, if you like. Special, but it's early voters, and this is mainly for persons who will be working on election day. Not all exactly, but let's quickly go to Rafik, who is in Wa. Our colleague Rafik Salam will tell us what's happening where he is. Rafik, a very good morning to you. Tell us where you are and what can you report?
I am currently sandwiched between the Wa Circuit Court and also the Upper West Regional Police Command. Here we are having 2 polling stations right here. And then the figure, when you add the number of people who are expected to vote in these 2 particular polling stations, 867 in all. So the voting started at exactly 7 a.m. here, and I can report to you that they didn't have any challenge regarding polling here. And so they are really respecting the COVID protocols right here because there's a COVID ambassador, and even the people who are here to vote are even being spaced out. They have drawn lines for them with a white paint, and so that they respect that social distancing. And also, the atmosphere is cool, and then also things are going on normal here, right at these polling centers here.
Rafik Salam giving us the updates in where he is right now. We've got men and women across the 275 constituencies on this special voting day, and we will be bringing you updates. And most of the centers where we've visited, voting started at 7 a.m., which is the advertised time, which is a good thing. But Rafik, all in all, in your region, how many persons are expected to be voting today?
In the Upper West region, we're having 11 constituencies here, and then voting is to take place in all the 11 constituencies. And also, all the constituencies are having 1 polling center, except the Wa Central constituency, which is seen to be big. And that's why we have this number of people being divided into 2. And so, in the Upper West region, a total of 3,459 people are expected to cast their vote in the Upper West region. So 3,459 persons are expected to cast their votes. But in the Wa municipality, the Wa Central constituency, we are expecting 867 in these 2 polling stations.
Great, Rafik, we've got 12 presidents.
Hello.
Hello, Rafik, if you can still hear me. Okay, there you are. So we have 12 presidential candidates. How many, if you've been able to count the agents where you are?
I can tell you that we can only have the agents of the 2 major political parties, talking about the MPP, the MPP, the New Patriotic Party, and also the National Democratic Congress, the NDC. They are the only parties here that are having a representation here. The rest doesn't have. So, but I can count to you that the NDC, they have as many as 4 party agents, so too is the MPP. So the agents are their number of 4. So in all, we have 8 party agents right here, and which is shared equally by the 2 major political parties.
And Rafik, also tell us about the security situation. What kind of security arrangements is there?
I have spoken to the regional director of the Electoral Commission, Mr. Ali Osman Adamu, and he told me that yes, despite that majority of the people who are voting in these particular polling centers, they have not left it to chance. And then they have also have additional security led by DSP Clement Ali, who is the operations commander of the police here. They have also details of men here at the centers, and so they are here. And so they are not leaving anything to chance. Security here is good and it's cool.
Rafik Salam, we'll leave it here. We'll come back to you a bit later on for some more updates. Rafik Salam reporting from Wa. From Wa, we move to the Bono region. Anas Sabit is our colleague on standby. Anas, a very good morning to you. We're told that there are some 13 centers in the region of Bono. Tell us exactly where you are and what you see.
I'm in the Bono East region, rather. We have 13 centers, as you rightly mentioned. And out of the 11 constituencies, 2 of the constituencies had over 1,000 voters. And as a result, the East team had to split those polling stations to 2. Techiman South had over 1,300. And so we have polling station A and B here in the Techiman South constituency. Same applies to the Atewa Mantin constituency, which has over 1,000 voters. And that constituency has also been split into 2. The rest of the 9 constituencies all have 1 polling station each. We are expecting over 5,000, about 5,856 voters to cast their ballots by the close of the day today. Almost all the constituencies, from the information we are gathering on the grounds, have started the exercise smoothly with no hitches yet. I've been engaging the regional EC director moments ago, and he tells me everything is set in terms of logistics from all the areas of the region.
Anas Sabet, a very big thank you for the updates. We will come back to you, so keep monitoring the situation there. We'll move to Manuel Kranting, who's been reporting from Pram Pram. Manuel, has anything changed significantly from when you earlier reported? Okay, we just lost him there. We're going to raise him back so that he can give us the update. So as you can see, we're taking you around the country to check what's happening. But Ben, I guess largely the report is that materials were there on time, voting started at 7 a.m. And everything is going on smoothly. That's what we've been told so far from our reporters.
So far, that would be the picture that is being painted. And of course, party agents as well. That may be the only sticking point where it's the 2 major political parties that have their party agents there. But by and large, a successful process so far. And we pray that it will actually end that way. And don't you forget, for those of you watching, this is your election headquarters, brought to you by Petrosol and Cowbell Coffee. Maybe we'll see what exactly is happening in Pram Pram. He was reporting earlier from the Methodist primary, 2 centers there, and I believe some over 900 or so that were supposed to, if not, he gave a figure there. But we're going to try to bring Pram Pram back with Manuel Kranting as and when he can connect. But across the country, basically, we're on board to let you know what is happening with regard to special voting. I guess we're special here in the studio because we're not doing it today, but it's on the 7th that we'll be doing our bit. But in terms of the developments and the things that have been said ahead of these elections, at least we've heard from the NDC's presidential candidate calling the security, people to step out there and vote. Other parties have done same. Interesting times. We'll just wait to see. This reminds me of the American election and how, ahead of time you get to know the number of people who have gone to cast their ballot and which way it's going. In our country too, in our setting too, it is similar. And I guess it always paints a certain picture, such a certain trend, creates certain impressions in the minds of people, kind of like an election with a runoff and the first, election and what it portends. So interesting times ahead. I can't wait to dig in and find out how things go.
Yeah, so what we see today basically is what's going to happen on December 7, except that it won't be just 109,557 people voting. It will be a whole lot more than that. So what we see today may not be the exact picture, but there's voting ongoing in all 275 constituencies across the country. The Electoral Commission says it expects a 100% turnout and is confident the outcome of today's special voting exercise will be peaceful, credible, transparent, and orderly. We will take a breather. Of course, this is your election headquarters. We'll come back with more reports from the ground. All right, it's just a few minutes coming up to 8 a.m. Voting started at about an hour ago. Manuel Cranting has been reporting from Pram Pram. Manuel, has anything happened since you last reported? Anything significant?
Well, significantly, what has happened is that polls have taken off. At the last time I spoke to you, they were just getting ready to set off the process here. Well, as at 7:05 a.m. today, the first ballot was cast here at the Pram Pram Methodist Primary School here within the Ningo Pram Pram constituency. Well, like I intimated earlier, there are about 957 people who have been registered on the special voting list, and all of them are expected to turn up this morning, or at least within the course of the day, to cast their ballot. Just about 30 minutes into the polls, I checked with the EC officials who told me that there had been, and of course there are two different polling stations here, polling station A and then B. There had been about 65 people who had been verified and issued ballot papers to go and cast their vote. And so generally it's been, almost an event-free, in fact, actually an event-free, process here. But this gentleman just came from the booth, the polling screen, and I'll speak to him briefly to find out how the process was. My boss, great. So how was the process?
So far, so good. The process has been very smooth. No problem at all.
Well, no problem at all. Just tell us how it went. Where did you start from? We're seeing some Veronica Bucket around here and so on. How was the process?
So I got here around 7:10. I joined the queue, walked to the Veronica Bucket. My temperature has been taken. I washed my hand, went to the verification list. My name was checked, and my name was verified, and I proceed to pick the presidential ballots, and I went to the booth and I vote. So after that, I proceed to the parliamentary, and I did the same as well.
You are a security officer?
No, please.
Okay, what do you do?
I'm a nurse.
Okay,
yes,
a health official. Well, thank you so much for speaking to us. He's just cast his ballot, and several others are waiting in the queue. And like I earlier said to Benjamin when he came to me, there are some demarcations on the ground, just indicating the space that is supposed to be left between one person and the other. Let me just speak to this gentleman. My boss, how long have you been here?
Oh, about an hour.
You've been here in the queue for about an hour. Okay, so how has the process been for you?
Everything is moving on smoothly, and we thank God that, and we like the way and how the system is going, and everything is going on well, and we pray that it will continue like that.
Are you a security person?
No, EC official.
You're an EC official. Okay, great. So he's an EC official within the constituency, and he's here to cast his ballot. I'll just get a bit closer to the EC officials themselves who are here. But so I'll just run you through the process. When you get here, you join a queue, and there are demarcations of 1 meter spaces between all of the people in the queue. Your temperature is first taken, after which you proceed to, wash your hands, and paper towels here that you use to clean your hands and dry your hands after washing. Then you proceed into this particular queue where you join to get your name and identification verified, after which you are issued with a ballot paper, and then you move straight into the polling booth to cast your ballot. So this is being the, as it were, the chronology of events when people get here. And I'm going to speak to the leader of the team here at the Pram Pram Methodist Basic School. Samuel is here. Samuel, my boss, if you just give me a minute. Quickly, great. So he is being superintending over the process over here today. Just describe to us how the process has been since 7:05 when you cast the first ballot.
Yeah, the process is okay. Everything is under control. We're maintaining the protocol. The line is formed, as you can see. Should I come focus? Okay. Yeah, the line is well formed. They are taking their hand washing, going through the process. even though I was the first to vote, I believe you said that, yes. Just to kickstart the process by teaching them what to do. I told them through the process as what they should do through the line when they get there. And we try to maintain the order as it is. And in the beginning, we realized that we have some people trying to look at the position of the screen, for which we are able to resolve it amicably, so there's no problem for now.
We'll talk about the positioning of the ballot screen very shortly, and this was an issue earlier among the polling agents of the various candidates here. The EC was able to resolve that issue. We'll talk about that very shortly, but tell me what happens if somebody gets into the verification area and does not find his or her name in there?
For now, we assure ourselves that, or we are sure that everybody is being captured for this particular exercise. But wherever we will not, if there is any issue that we don't find the persons in, we will find a way of addressing it, which we will use our high authority to address it for now. But for now, we have all the names being captured for both A and the B stations for now.
We know that the biometric verification machines have facial recognition features. Has there been the need to use a facial recognition?
Yes. This morning we have done about 3 facial recognition at the police station A, likewise the other one as well. So the statistics as at now, we have some facial recognitions aside the finger verifications.
Apart from the finger verification, you have some facial recognitions. But that's okay. Talk to me about, I mean, the queue seems to be building up massively. And I don't know, at the last time I checked, there were about 63 people who had already been verified and had voted. I don't know what the number is now, but at this pace, do you think that perhaps you'll be done before the 5 p.m. deadline?
We don't anticipate that, because all our officials are going to vote today. And we have about 957 people we are expecting, even though they are in 2 sections. But by close of day, we are expecting all the officials to take their vote or to cast their vote first before the day. So we don't anticipate finishing before 5. But even if you finish before 5, we'll still wait until 5 per the rule. We didn't go.
You still wait until 5. But now talk to me about the ballot screens, and maybe a camera could just pick the positioning of the ballot screen so that we're able to describe to you. Earlier, this wasn't the position; it was turned the other way around.
Yes, we only want to maintain the security and prevent anybody from doing anything beyond what we are expecting. Assuming we turn it to face any other place where the person will do something that will dim the image of the commission, wouldn't want that. That is why we agree together with the agents that, okay, this best will do for all of us. And that was the agreement we reached.
What's the difference between this positioning and then the other way around?
All of them are okay. But the issue is that if the officials will be a bit, or seeing it with the officials will be better than exposing it to the electorate. Yes.
So that the officials are able to monitor properly, that nobody brings any foreign material.
We also have to be sure that they are able to put the ballot into the box, because some could come and unintentionally or intentionally take the ballot away, which will affect the counting afterwards. So we want to monitor that movement of the ballot.
Now let's talk about, and you know that this election is happening within the pandemic. A reason you're having to stick to all the COVID-19 safety protocols. We know there's hand washing, there's social distancing, there's wearing of the face mask and so on. When you take somebody's temperature, for instance, and the person is say running beyond the average, are you going to turn the person away?
Not really. We're going to work on all of that. What will happen is that there are some even health officers around us. But for now, we will have to hasten his or her voting process so that he can quickly leave. What we need to do, we need to give the person attention so that they'll pass through the process quickly and leave. But we can't tell the person off. It's not part of our rules.
And that brings the question of the COVID-19 safety ambassadors, yes. Which the EC talked about earlier. Well, there are supposed to be health officials here who will be the COVID-19 safety ambassadors. What would be their job?
Not necessarily as a health worker, but they're supposed to practice health safeties or health protocols, just as we said, so that everybody will have access to being screened with the temperature to be sure that you are within the temperature level, and also make sure that they wash their hands, and they also be educated on how to sanitize their hands after they have used the screen and other people, because they have in contact with others as they go through the process.
The reason I'm asking is just to ascertain if there's any coordination between the Electoral Commission and then, for instance, the ambulance service, so that if somebody's running temperature and there's reason to suspect anything around COVID-19, a person is rushed to the hospital.
For now, I say no, because even the hospital is just too close anyway, which we can use other alternatives like the cars. The cars are here, the police patrol is here. There are other agencies that are here to help us with their cars, but for ambulance, we don't have. But in otherwise, we can still make way to the hospital when the need be. Can still make a way to this.
Great. And so, just to confirm once again, there's not been any challenge so far?
No. I hope you can see the area. There was no crowding, there was no noise, there was no fighting. I think for now, that is what is running. We are running swiftly. And you can see even officers are in their own...
And somebody was asking, what is the criteria for, partitioning, as it were, polling station A and police station B?
Yes, based on the number given. We know because we want to make it to police station, we have to divide the number into two. The number initially was, as I said, 957. So it was divided into two. So police station A was having 479, whilst the other one had 478. That gave birth to 957.
And I like the expression that gave birth to 957. That is the total number of registered voters, at least on a special voting list here at the Ningo Pram constituency. I'm going to hand over back to you in studio. So from here, very smooth process at the Pram Methodist Basic School, and all is moving on as expected. We'll bring back to you some update as and when we get the Mama V.
Great, Manuel Kranting, thank you very much. Keep up the good work. We're going to go to Takoradi. Ben is taking us to Natalia Kwanzaa now.
Natalia, a very good morning to you. Where are you reporting from, and what can you tell us from there? Well, Natalia, it appears you've muted your connection, so please unmute so we can hear you. If you can hear me, Natalia, please unmute so we can catch exactly what you're trying to say.
Yes, so I'm in the Takoradi constituency, and here it is ongoing at the police canteen here at the Central Police Station. We are expecting 803 persons to vote today, the special voting, made up of police, of security officials, media persons, and those who have special duties on the election day. As of now, we have over 50 people voting. From this morning, the process has been smooth. We have all the COVID-19 protocols put in place here. So what happened is they started at exactly 7 a.m. When the people come, they go wash their hands, and then their temperature is being taken. And then there is a seat here, which has 1 meter space in between them. And so the people sit on it. So when you go and take your ballot paper, you go and then you take hand sanitizer, and then you also vote. We have with us the district PC, the district electoral officer here, Efe Wilson. So we'll go to her and then we find out from her how the process has been. But from my observation, it has been very smooth. I have also been speaking to the PC for the GUM party, who says that he's hopeful of winning the election for the Takoradi seat come December 7th. He said he has spoken to the people of Takoradi, and they say that they need change. And so come December 7th, they would give him the mandate. But I have with me here, as I said earlier, the district officer for the EC, Madam Efe Wilson. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Anne.
Yes. So we want to find out from you how the process has been.
Oh, it has been so far. It has been very smooth. I should think you've observed it, that since you came, everything is in order. Social distancing is in place. The protocol is being observed, and like I said, the security and the media people, we are very disciplined. So everything is in order. I appreciate how the whole process is going. It's been smooth.
Yes, but we want to find out from you, why is the center divided into two?
Well, we have it in such a way that we have such a way that we don't want people to queue for a very long time. And so the number is for the special voting is 803. So one center have 402, the other center have 401. Now the commission has in place that every register, if it is at a point of 429, it has to be cut off so that the center will be divided. 749, you have to be cut off so that the center will be divided. So this one is more than the 750 that we want. It's more than 800. So we have to divide the center into two so that we can have two centers for people to cast their votes in ease.
Yeah, we've seen that you've gone through all the COVID-19 protocols, but when they move, you are not sanitizing the chairs. Why are we not having that?
What we do is that the chair, we wash your hands, we go through the social protocols like you've already seen. When you finish the process, you sanitize your hands at the end. So the sanitization is done at the end of your process. When you finish all the process, you sanitize your hand, then you go out of the system.
At other places, we have only two, the main parties, agents here. What do we have here in Takoradi?
We have all of them. We have WOM here, we have the MDC, we have MPP, we have all the other reps. Those who don't even have the parliamentary candidates, they have the presidential candidates have their reps in place.
Can you give to us that from morning to now, how many people have voted and when are we expected to vote? Are we going to expected to vote earlier, to end voting earlier?
Even if you finish all your people for 100% at even 3 o'clock, you cannot end the process. The end period is 5. So you have to make sure that you stay to the end of the time that commission has put in place before you can close up. You cannot close early. Now, if you want the figures, I have to combine the A and B before I can get to the figures, of which I cannot really get it to put it together now.
Okay. All right. So thank you. So you had the district officer for Takoradi constituency, EC, they explained to us the process, how it has been for her this morning, and how the election is going here in Takoradi.
Speed there, all the way from Takoradi. Let's connect now with Maxwell Kudeko from Kofori Dua. Maxwell, if you can hear me, what is the specific center at which you find yourself? What is the action happening there?
I'm presently at the Galloway Police Church. That is a New Durban South constituency where the early voting is happening for people who will be engaged on December 7th. The New Durban South constituency has the largest number so far in the Eastern region. That is 837 votes here in the New Durban South constituency. The entire Eastern region recorded or are expecting 7,893 votes in the Eastern region within the 33 constituency. Apart from the New Durban South constituency, the West Achim constituency follows with the highest number, that is 678. In Sahom Adwajiri has got 619 expected votes, and the New Durban North has 506 expected votes. Among the 33 constituency, the Achimasa constituency has the least number of expected votes in the region, with only 50 expected votes in the Achimasa constituency. We were here before 7. We got here, the Galloway Center, around 6 thereabout. We met a lady who said he got here.
Well, a bit of a situation there, but we're going to try to reconnect with Maxwell Kudeko. In the meantime, in Asawase, Erastus Asare Donko is still live, bringing us the feed. Mama V.
Yes, Erastus Asare Donko, where are you now? Because you reported a bit earlier. Have you moved away from Oforikrom?
Well, Mama V, we've been crisscrossing, but we are still here at the Pakoso police station, which is the center for Asawase constituency. And that is where voting has started about an hour ago. And so if you can see behind me, many of them have cast their ballots. So far, we have 27 who have cast their ballots so far. We are expecting 125 to vote here at Pakoso polling station, which is the center for Aswase. Now, let me say that about 4 people have not found their names on the list at the moment. And one of them is this gentleman I'm going to speak with right now. What is your name?
Emmanuel Kwameji.
Emmanuel, what challenge did you face this morning?
Well, I know me by no I'm be church reading or you say for special voting. But I'm decided to notice board say yeah what was constituency no is station Pakoso police station. Yeah nipa mi no and the word you know Pakoso police station but no pay me by no me din him yeah me din him no it sounds so quite so far but me nua ba ko na kan no there so far say di woman say din there I can't tell it's no if you say you are not so bad also challenges so be face no na me so I will see.
Well, what he says is that they registered to vote on a special day, and names and lists were submitted to them at their workplace. But then when they came here, he cannot find his name in the list. There were 2, and they were supposed to vote here at Pakoso for Aswase constituency, but they've not found their names in here. Diana easy for no catch.
Well, my code *711 *2020 # some fan check to me check here no na about be register no Tawi Educational Complex. Yes, hona me go to me then say me can general one no me can special one no. Yeah.
So they gave him a code, and he said that he initiated that code, and he was told that he was supposed to vote at Tawhid Educational Center, so his name is not part of the special voting list. More sure someone submitted a list ahead of time.
Yeah, submitting ahead of time, but so far so good no. Ebi mo nya ntia se edwuma mo fo ebi mo atom de. Ebi mo atom de bantmane kwada se ebi mo atom de atwoma mo be jana ade nyina, but me na me nim de asi wa asi. Yeah.
Well, so his other colleagues have been able to vote in other constituencies, but he has not been able to vote because his name cannot be found in the Aswase constituency. Thank you very much. And 4 of such people have not found their names in the register here at Aswase constituency. But I'm being told by the EC a short while ago that it could be that they did not submit their names early to the regional EC office, or their list never went to the EC office, and that's how come their names cannot be found within the register. So far, that's the challenge that people have faced. 4 people who have come in here, they cannot find their names in the register. But I must say that voting itself has been very, very smooth. The process is very, very fast. They check their names in the register there. They go to the verification machine to verify that indeed they are the people who are voting. They get their ballot papers from this end. They vote for presidential, and then they vote for parliamentary. So it's been very, very smooth. So far, about 28 people have voted so far. We are expecting 125 people to vote. And so the way people are trickling in, is possible that by midday they might have exhausted the list for this area. So I must say the process here at Aswase Pakoso police station is ongoing, and it is smooth so far. Mama V.
All right, Erastus Asari Donko reporting for us from the Pakoso police station. That's in Aswase. That's the center for Aswase. And in the entire Ashanti region, we've got 48 centers. But from where Erastus reported, there are 125 persons expected to vote, out of which 28 have already voted. But he also reports that there are some 4 persons who couldn't find their names on the register. That's to be expected.